I mean, that is exactly what FUD means, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Nothing has fundamentally changed about American technology. The Mag 7 is still bigger than 95% of countries' GDPs. You have the data that trains the model, and then you have the actual model, which is for people at home, like the model you could think of as the brain, and then the data to train your brain or model could be memories.
I did see
Why
on
not?
the fine print of the DeepSeek app, it says that all the data is stored on the Communist China Party servers.
Welcome to Bullish and Beyond. It's Beery the Bull. I'm your AI co-host. Join myself, Brian the MacMan, and JT Knows Things while we dive deep into the world of stocks, crypto, and how to live a bullish life. It's time to get bullish, and there's no better place to start than right here. Let's dive in.
Welcome back. Another episode of Bullish and Beyond, and we have so much to talk about today. I am wearing red because it's Lunar New Year, but also because DeepSeek, the China AI that shocked the world, it caused trillions of dollars of market cap to capitulate. Literally overnight
Crazy.
Sunday, Monday morning, absolute tank. We're talking about the biggest names like Nvidia and other high AI stocks that tanked 20% in a day.
It's crazy.
How is that possible?
Well, one, I gotta say, rest in peace to your portfolio today. I know some of those names are in your portfolio, but
They're
it's a
bouncing
good
back
day.
though. So
I was about
what
to
goes down
say,
can still come back up.
that's right. Mr. Market's going to give us discounts. We got to
There's a
buy
lot of
those.
haters out there saying, is the tech AI trade over? And I say no to that.
No, no, absolutely. I think this DeepSeek thing has really thrown people through a loop because the day prior, Trump did Stargate, which we talked about last week or a few days prior, right? We were talking about that on the last podcast, and
Yeah.
like half a trillion was invested. And this DeepSeek thing is better,
It's going to be invested. We have maybe 100 billion committed so far.
right? This DeepSeek thing was 6 million, right? Six
Yeah,
six
isn't
point
that
one
nuts?
six. Yeah,
5.4 maybe they keep spouting. And I honestly don't believe it. That's what I'm here to say is
you don't
I
believe it.
think I think that we need more tracking around how much AIs actually spend to create their models. There needs to be a standard so the LLM can put it out there to showcase not just the parameters. So I feel like right now we only see the parameters. Like, it's 671 billion parameters they had. And what
Hmm.
parameter is basically a piece of data for everyone out there. It could be a website, a book, an article, anything like that would be a parameter. But we don't actually see behind the scenes. How do we know they spent 5.4 million? And then there's other models out there. I saw University of Berkeley, California said they came out with a
Yeah.
model that they spent $450 on. How's that possible, JT?
Well, so there's two parts to any AI tool. You have the data that trains the model, and then you have the actual model, which is for people at home, like the model you could think of as the brain, and then the data to train your brain or model could be memories. You can think of it that way. You
Yep.
have to use the model to, um, by using data, you train it, the model gets smarter, better, etc. I personally think these models that are being spun up for very, very cheap are essentially dealing with non-homogeneous data. So it's data that is generally available that you can auto train a model for. A lot of the expense that goes into a
Because
model
just to
is
clean data would cost way more than $400. Like you can't clean and make a model for that doesn't even make sense.
right. So if you're just pulling public data that is cleaned already, then it's all good. Like you don't, especially, I mean, if you can do it all in one API call, maybe the 400,
Yeah,
maybe they used public hardware, right? So their school's hardware that they didn't have to pay for, and then they used
correct.
public data to feed the model,
Well,
and then they were able to.
if I borrow my GPUs, well then yeah, I can make it cheap, right?
Yeah, it's pretty easy if the state's subsidizing your hardware. You
So
know,
DeepSeek might have stolen the data. They might have used someone else's hardware.
I think DeepSeek used TikTok's data and RedNote's data
Oh.
because China is, for those who don't know, a communist republic or an oligarchy, which means there's a select few that are self-appointed that run
Yep.
the entire country, and those individuals have direct working interest in the government's assets, which just so happens to be every business based out of China. So the
Including
government
DeepSeek.
probably, including DeepSeek, including TikTok, including RedNote. So I think their data has been generated very cheaply because they
Yeah.
just took all of their data from those things
The
on the
China
West.
party just shared it with them.
And not only
So
that, you have
America fed into this data, unknowingly. This is why
absolute,
people want to
yeah,
stop TikTok.
absolutely. It's one of the many reasons, right? I mean,
Yeah.
you can say it only costs $6 million because the other entity that gathered all of the data to train the model that is probably better than ours because TikTok, RedNote, WeChat, they have so many things. Imagine the government,
Yeah.
Alibaba, they have
And
access
those
to all
companies are
this
worth
data.
hundreds of billions. So you're like, okay, so if you take a $1
Right.
trillion company and then take their free data, well then yeah.
Yeah, because you're a communist government.
And they might be
It's
using the
not
same
like,
servers. I mean, whatever TikTok servers are over there. I did see
why not?
on the fine print of the DeepSeek app, it says that all the data is stored on the communist China Party servers. Like
So,
they're not hinting around it. It is a fact. If you
and
use
and
DeepSeek
yeah,
app, it's going to China 100%.
100%. That's not going to make people feel comfortable. So, like, I think a lot of the concerns, all it is I think it's reducing the estimated obtainable market of like American models. I think people are imagining there's going to be one that wins the world, and it's definitely in America. And now, for the first time, we're hearing about a competition. But really, China has done nothing but tank their reputation over the past 50 years to where I don't know if a majority of the, civilized nations are actually going to trust a Chinese platform over an American platform.
I
I
definitely
would be
agree on the
shocked.
trust factor, but the rub is going to be the pricing. So it's something like 14 cents compared to $7.50 for running the DeepSeek, versus OpenAI's ChatGPT model. So as a business, if they're spending millions on API calls when they could be spending tens of thousands, it's such
Hmm.
a different data point that they might be wanting to save money and maybe they don't care about some of the security. And also
I
hearing that
mean,
you can run these models locally potentially without having to, send the data up.
yeah, I mean, if you can take control of companies in your country and then you don't have to pay for API calls at all. Like you just get a copy of the data. I mean, it's free, right? Because you're a communist country. I mean, absolutely. But I mean, I think that's only going to make. And here's the bullishness in
I
me.
mean,
Here's the
it must
optimist
be
in me.
subsidized, and how could it be that order of magnitude? We're talking, 7,000% more to use ChatGPT over DeepSeek.
Right. It's because they're
That's
not paying
nuts.
for the data that trained their model. Think about how much money goes into, let's just say, Tesla, right? Or Twitter, because they have Grok. That's an actual model that's unique to
I think
Twitter.
it's being subsidized. I think the government must be doing something, lending them the server power
Mm,
because they're trying to suck the data out of the US, perhaps. That would
mm.
be, my view anti of why not to use it is it's so cheap. Well, why would it be so cheap? Oh, they want our data, of course. And the only way to get someone to overcome that trust hurdle,
Sure.
if it's that cheap, people are going to lean into it. And I've already had friends tell me that they're downloading the app and using it. And it's because, oh, they don't need to pay $20 for ChatGPT anymore. They can just use this free one. But yeah, you're giving up all your privacy. I mean, they're listening and if they want to or not. So I'm a
Yeah,
little
I
bit
would
skeptical.
I would never install that app. When TikTok was down for a day, everyone's like, go to Red Note. And I'm like, no. TikTok was bad enough. I don't want to go any deeper into
I've
the
never used
Chinese
Red Note, but I
rabbit
got my
hole
only red
personally.
shirt on in the world. This, Ohio State jersey. If anyone doesn't know, Ohio State won the national championship a week and a half ago. So go
It's
Bucks.
huge. Go Bucks, man.
This is
It's big in this area.
07
Yeah,
throwback.
that is a throwback. I remember watching that game with my family. It's a good day for Red. I mean, that is exactly what FUD means, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Nothing has fundamentally changed about American technology. The Mag 7 is still bigger than 95% of countries' GDPs, like combined. So I mean, like it's real, and like we have a great future ahead of us. But the fact that China's doing this, and you said it great, I really do think they're making a play for our data, our intelligence, and making
It
it that
makes
much
sense.
cheaper. Totally makes sense. And when they can just say whatever they want, do whatever they want, access whatever they want because they're an oligarchy, they have a leg up in any of these vectors because they don't have to deal with the democratic process. So they're going to have a competitive advantage and a first mover's advantage always. They're going to be able to access data that the government
Yeah.
can't even attempt. Like it's illegal for unless you're storing kid porn, it is illegal for the government to come in and look at your data, right? Like they need a subpoena, they need a process.
Right.
It would take years for them to get access to all the data training these models out of Facebook and Twitter and so on and so forth. So you have the costs being accounted for in this box that's vertical. It's like, well, all of the servers that support Facebook, that's a cost because you need those servers to get the data to train the model. So that is accounted as
And Facebook
R&D.
said they're going to spend 60 to 65 billion with a B this year on CapEx, and it's mostly going to AI servers. That
Yeah, I
is
was to say those
wild.
chips. That's got to be Jensen's money. That's got to be
It's going
almost
that
all
way.
Jensen's money. Yeah.
Mark Zuckerberg said he's going to end the year with about 1.3 million GPUs.
Good
That is
Lord.
some scale. And
That's
speaking of Meta,
crazy.
they are announcing earnings after the bell
Okay.
today. So, I mean, it might even be happening during this podcast. So, I'm not looking at what's happening. My prediction at the stock's going to go up. I think it's going to be over 700 after the earnings call.
Ooh, what's trading hands at
It's
right
on the
now?
move. It was about 680 earlier today, high 670s.
So you're expecting them to beat expectations.
Yeah. I think there's going to
Yeah.
be a decent beat. The outlook is that they're going to spend more money and eventually
For
make more
sure.
money. I
Right.
mean, I think they're going to kind of win the consumer AI along with Apple. I think those are the two companies that are really going to, win in that space. And then, the trickle down effect is like you were just saying, Jensen and Nvidia are going to get a very large check quarterly from Zuckerberg and Meta every time they want to buy another, 100,000 GPUs.
Right.
That's buku bucks.
Yeah, just sign
Um,
us up for 10 billion a month and we'll figure it
yeah.
out.
So
Just
when Nvidia took this absolutely massive hit, I kind of want to go back to that. I do not think it
yeah.
was called for, and I have a counterpoint. Potentially, if these Chinese companies can gain scale at a cheaper rate, American companies might spend more money on GPUs to scale faster to get even ahead of it. So in
Yeah.
theory, maybe Nvidia does better in an environment with cheap AI, and people are just going to hyperscale at an even faster rate.
Yeah, that was a thing that I had forgotten to say. I think it's actually good. The fact that China perceivably was able to do this so cheap, I think that is going to put so much pressure on basically American AI
Everyone's got to move
companies.
faster.
Trump's not going to he's going to be like, "Look, China's doing it." And then there's going to be some smart person telling him what we've just said most likely that they are
Yeah.
manipulating things because of their resources. And then he's going to take that Stargate project and be like, you have to do a lot better.
Yep.
Like $500 billion.
You better come out
It
with something
better,
great.
it better nuke China, Sam. It better. Like whatever you make, it better be better in China. And Period. Like that, and I also think Trump's going to take the gloves
Speaking of
off.
what Trump's coming out and saying, I heard some people on Trump's team think that they might have used ChatGPT to train DeepSeek. And I don't know how all the technical how that technically works, but some type of back and forth with ChatGPT to train its model. Very interesting to hear that.
Yeah, that could be another really cheap way. But see, here's the thing: you're still going to deal with the data. Like, if you had ChatGPT training your own model, you're not going to have a unique model. It's going to be tainted with ChatGPT's training. And you could argue that maybe it's just so far ahead. I don't know how they would actually get away with that without ChatGPT
I don't
knowing.
either. It might just be a theory, but I've seen it a couple times. Corey
Yeah,
Warfield mentioned it on LinkedIn. He's super into
yeah,
AI if he's listening to this. So
yeah,
it's hard to know. But yeah, a lot of theories out there, kind of how it might have happened.
yeah. I feel like Trump's going to take his gloves off. I mean, his gloves have been off since the minute. I mean, he got that inauguration speech on Monday. I remember seeing a live on Twitter at like 8 a.m. on Tuesday morning, and he sat down till like 9 p.m. signing executive orders. Like that dude worked
Didn't stop.
12, 13 hours, did hundreds of executive orders, didn't even get up to pee, drank
That's some
tons of Diet
amazing
Coke.
energy.
Dude, he's just ready. Like he finally won.
He's
And
not
the
he's
the
not a young man. I mean, his energy's he's peaking though.
I know he's what 79 pushing 80. Um it's incredible. It's impressive. And I feel like he is making America, it sounds so corny, but he really is making us great again. Like I woke up and I'm seeing these policy changes just for my industry, for the crypto people
What's
listening.
happening in crypto? What's Trump doing right now?
Yeah, like Trump could genuinely not be. I don't think you could make a better president for crypto. I don't. This dude was made in a lab that has been just put out into the world to pump bags. That is his job,
I mean, he comes
as
out with
far as
his
I'm
own coin.
concerned.
He's got Trump coin, the
Yeah,
Mana coin,
yeah.
what the new SEC
Meme
chair now
coins.
got
Yeah,
appointed.
yeah. So you got Paul Atkins. That's the appointment of the SEC chair. That dude has been
He
doing
he he
blockchain
he
consulting.
passed the muster.
He 1,000%. He asked the most pro crypto chairwoman on the SEC prior to Paul Atkins. Now Paul, I would say, is the most bullish. I mean, he literally does blockchain consulting. He has a percentage of his net worth in crypto. He is a native, which is amazing. You have
Can you
Hester.
see what these people have in their wallets? Like, if I was, not being a big crypto guy, and I know I've said in this podcast, I got a little bit now of, some Bitcoin and some ETH and a little
Yeah,
MicroStrategy, but I don't know that much about Bitcoin here, and I don't know much about all these other coins. That's why I'm here to learn, JT, and you got to teach
yeah,
everyone
of
else.
course, of
Can we
course.
check this guy Atkins' wallet? Like, what is he doing?
We
I want to
could.
see inside his wallet.
We absolutely could if he shared his public wallet address. So, like, no one knows where you personally live, but the second you tell everyone, they would be able to go look up your house. It's the
Yep.
same idea. A
Okay.
public wallet address is your home address, and you can look inside of that wallet if you know it. Otherwise, that wallet address is just anonymous. The identity and the wallet ID are separated because I don't need my name and last name and email and phone number to make a wallet. I just make a
Right.
wallet. The second I
How
give
unique is that wallet ID? I mean, is it
completely unique.
hackable? I mean,
It's completely unique. It's 100 and well, it depends on the network, anywhere from 30 to 128 unique combination of alphanumeric codes. So
okay.
like 0 lowercase x, capital A, 6 E, B,
That's a lot of
F, G,
combinations
H,
to get
I.
to the 100 digits.
Yeah, it would take roughly 10,000 years for you to even get a wallet accurate through our current
Or if we had
RE.
quantum computing,
There you go. Yeah.
we don't know.
Exactly. It's SHA-256 encrypted. Can't break it. Quantum
Okay.
eventually could, but again, you would need 1 million qubits to break it in a year, and you would need 13 million qubits to break it in a day. That's
Wow.
how crazy it is. And there's actually a lot of people have been reaching out to me about quantum safety. There's way more difficult, but less performant encryption protocols. There's SHA-554, which is the most powerful. it is quantum safe already. Like we have that today. It's completely quantum
Wow.
safe. You would need 9
Well, when
to
you talk
10
about million
figures.
qubits, I mean that might be hundreds of years from now. Like that's not anything remotely in the near
Yeah.
term.
And SHA 554 is literally 8 to 9 figures of qubits. Like it's a
What?
lot. You would need a lot of qubits to break that. I'm sorry, 9 to 10. I apologize.
For
Like,
people that don't know, we only have like 100 qubits right now. Like this is not like this
yeah,
is not we're not
yeah,
even in the
yeah,
thousands. Like we're adding like 10 a year or something. Like the scale,
yeah.
it moves very slowly.
Yes, it does. And it will improve just like everything, but we are far away from it. So
Okay, not to worry about
don't
yet.
need to, not to worry about yet. The the next biggest thing he's doing next to Paul Atkins is the Hester Peirce. She is the one of 5 chair people at the SEC. She has a she basically has written dissent letters. So every time the SEC comes to a decision, the chairperson can, elect to, address the public or not.
Okay,
And every chairperson also has that option on every decision. Hester goes out of her way to write a dissent opinion on the SEC's decisions, meaning she's against the SEC. And
right.
she has published that being anti Gary Gensler and pro crypto. She's been like that for the past 6 years or so.
Wow.
And she's now in charge of a crypto task force subcommittee in the SEC appointed by um, the sitting SEC chairman, and I'm forgetting his name right now because there was an interim between Gary and Paul, right?
Okay.
That person stood a crypto committee up because he was also pro crypto. He's like, look, if I'm in charge, Hester,
Wow.
you need to go crush
She
it
sounds
because
like the
you're
right woman
afraid.
for the job.
She is. So she is going to review every single open case the SEC has against crypto companies.
And she's
And
going
it
to
is
close some of them.
likely she's going to axe murder them. She's going to move
Slash
to
those cases.
dismiss.
Pop, pop, pop.
Yeah, she's like,
It'll be like
she's written,
Fruit. It'll be like
yeah,
Fruit Ninja on iPhone. Just slice them out.
100%. Bah, bah, bah.
Yeah,
Done.
exactly.
100%. She has written dissents against these lawsuits. Like, she's probably a kid at Christmas right now. She's like, oh my
Oh
God.
god, it's like our favorite job ever. I
Yeah,
get to cancel these lawsuits that don't make sense. Oh yay.
yeah. So the SEC is now officially pro crypto. And I'm not even saying you shouldn't be pro or against it. They are just like, can we can we tell everyone what this stuff is and just get our hands off of it?
Yes.
That's all
Yes.
we want. We're not even saying make it easy for
They're
us.
not making people buy Bitcoin. They're just saying that now we can
Yeah.
tell you what it is and make it an option.
And there used to be a time before the Democrats got a hold of it, okay? And I'm showing my beliefs a little bit here, but it's true. Choke point 2.0, I'm talking about my field only. 2016, maybe before that, they were like, hey, it doesn't matter, you're grown. We're just going to have disclosures. So all you have to do is tell people. You have to tell them that they could lose it all. You have to tell them that this is the riskiest thing they could ever do. You have to tell them everything possible. So you disclose, disclose,
Yep.
disclose. And then everyone else, you're grown. You can decide to do what you want. And if there is a criminal, report them and we'll handle it. That's it. And sometime in 2016, they were like, nah, not with this crypto stuff. We can't control it. We need y'all to destroy it so we can get our friends to launch ETFs and make money on it before you allow it to happen. And that's basically what choke point has been this entire time. And it's all over now. Like Trump is getting rid of all of that. He's also saying that
But
he wants,
bunch of people got rich in the meantime, right? So like that strategy
oh,
worked because now those ETFs took off
yeah.
and they lined the pockets of some very wealthy companies.
Yeah, I bet has like 50 billion in it in a year, and it's
Yeah.
bigger than their gold ETF. Like,
Sure,
yeah, it's
Larry Fink
crazy.
likes that.
Oh, well, why not? Of course, that's his job. I mean, they played it well.
And you
Hats
might have
off to
mentioned
him, I
on here
guess.
before, it's a lot of these, bankers and stuff that, said they hated, Bitcoin, all of a sudden now like, love it. And obviously it's fine to change your mind, but if you're like lying about it, it's different than just changing your opinion.
100%. JP Morgan has a project right now called Onyx. They've been building it since 2017. They just released a token this year. in 2018, in 2019, in 2020, literally until 24, Jamie Dimon has told people that he will fire you if you custody crypto and you work for him. And in
Yeah,
the
it's harsh.
background, he has personally
Spinning
been
it up.
buying it. Yeah, he's been personally building with it. That's a fact. Like, it's kind of crazy. It's all coming to an end thanks to Trump.
That's
The
kind of the
last
world.
big
That's kind of
thing,
the world we live in, though. I mean, people pump
it
stuff behind
is.
the scenes, and then they change their tune at the opportune time.
I know. It's real convenient, isn't it?
Exactly. What's what's
It's
what's the
super
what's the last
convenient.
thing you got here with the Trump
Yeah, the
and
last one
crypto
before we
industry?
close it out. It's really important to know. Trump has said that there will be a digital asset treasury. That's exactly what he said. He
Interesting.
wanted, yeah, he wanted that to be specific and not a Bitcoin treasury
Yes.
because
Make it a little broader.
he wants to custody other American-based tokens. So
What, the
he
Trump
has
coin?
this. That would be crazy
Isn't it
if
top?
our president.
Isn't it like top 20 in the world already or something? I mean, it has tens of billions of
Oh,
dollars of inflows.
yeah,
I mean, that's
yeah.
wild.
Retail's crazy, dude. It's the same stuff you're seeing at quantum stocks going up 400%, then down 50%, and then the GameStop meme stocks, and it's retail.
Yeah.
It's slushing around looking for alpha because they're desperate. And you're absolutely, I mean, yeah, it's in terms of market cap, I think it's a top 20, if not a top 10 token right now. It's insanity. There's
I
no
do.
value to it though.
I agree.
Like
I like
it
that
just
Trump left it
says on
open
it.
though. I think it's good. It needs to be, crypto, not Bitcoin. It shouldn't be that
Yeah.
focused. And we have no idea what the future of the world holds. So why would we want to, short ourselves that this next coin hasn't even come out yet?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's possible that the United States government, in an effort to combat the bad monetary policy invoked by Powell, because remember, these are two separate entities that work independently, and they've printed a lot of money for him to figure out how to not completely bankrupt us. So it
7
is
trillion or
possible.
something. I mean,
No, I wish. I wish. That M1 went from 4 to 22 in 3 years. 4 trillion to
I'm
22
thinking
trillion.
maybe 7 trillion a year. Maybe that's a number maybe I had in my head.
Yeah, that's closer to what they've done.
Yeah.
And that's why they even asked Powell, if Trump demanded you to step down, would you? He's like, no. And the reason why Trump would ask that is it's because he dumped 14 trillion or 16 trillion into our market. Um, because, well, like, in part, the government asked
It's
to borrow
aggressive.
that much. It's
Yeah.
incredibly aggressive. But, you know, I think to combat that, he could be buying tokens that are smaller cap than Bitcoin to try to get alpha. Like he might
He's
turn
trying to get the
a
alpha for the US too.
he might just want to put money into American blockchain companies to incentivize other blockchain companies to become
Yeah.
American. He's like, hey, we have an incubator. Guess what? We're going to
It's not a
buy
bad
10%
idea.
of your.
If
It's
you
a
think
new
about it
world, man.
too, so talking about alpha, which is trying to get that high growth in there,
Yeah,
Bitcoin. If they announce a strategic reserve of Bitcoin tomorrow, let's say it's at $100,000 a second. If they announce it, maybe it goes to 120, 125, but there's no way it's gonna like double, triple, quadruple overnight. But those small cap tokens could go up absolutely nuts overnight. I mean, thousands of percent probably. So that
yeah.
is where he could truly get that alpha. Whether he picks the right coins or not, remains to be seen. But that's really cool. And to
There's some
power all these
projects.
coins, we're gonna need energy. So I am still very bullish on
Yeah,
energy. Going back to Oklo and all these nuclear stocks that got absolutely crushed, blown out of the market. They are coming back. They are here to stay. I am betting with them long term, very bullish on companies that are spinning up nuclear. They're not all going to win. They're mostly pre revenue, but I really like Oklo.
it's a cool idea. And it's definitely the direction we need to go. Energy
Yeah.
needs to get cheaper. For Zuckerberg's just 1.3 million GPUs. That needs to get cheaper, or else we're never going to have a good cost.
Zuckerberg is building a data center that is almost the size of the city of Manhattan. If anyone understands how many blocks that is, it literally, he did an overlay and it's like 75-80% of the Manhattan, let's say. And he's putting this data center down in Louisiana, and the people down in Louisiana are freaking out because it's going to completely change their energy grid and their entire city. I mean, if you think about,
good Lord,
so it's going to be the size of Manhattan, but it's going to use more power than Manhattan. Like, just insane.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's the amount of energy. People aren't ready for it.
Our country's not ready, and we need more energy to sustain our leadership in tech and AI. So it's crucial that Trump and the people around him drill, baby, drill. Like, I mean, we need it, and there's ways to do it that are safer.
100%. He said it's a state of emergency regarding the energy crisis. I've not heard the word energy out of Biden administration's mouth. It's not even been a thing.
I've been doing more research on the emergency part of that, and I actually am seeing that they slowed down so much in strategic energy investments that we might actually hit a point in a few years where we do have a major issue, and we can't catch up. By major issue, I mean we can't power all the AI data centers, and we can't do all the crypto stuff that we were doing. The world can still run, but we're not going to have energy to grow, and we have to grow GDP to keep everything growing, keep prices growing. All the companies continue to increase in market cap. We need energy.
That is the bottleneck for pretty much the entire way our world works. I mean, even dollars are created with energy. Like, you earn dollars by your life's energy going into something. It's a unit of energy. And
everything trickle down some energy. Like, I mean, companies will do more with cheaper energy. We don't if transportation could run on free energy, I mean, everything in the world would change.
Everything. And that's honestly, we're starting to get to Star Trek levels. That's the theory. Like, you go to 2300, everything is free because nothing cost anything to make.
Yes.
Right?
Our clothes are free because the energy is free that goes into it, and then it's just so little cost that it's just subsidized and it's free.
Yeah, it sucks atoms out of the air and atomizes something in real time, and it's powered with energy that they don't even have to plug in. So it's just like, you want a shirt? Here it comes. Here's all the carbon and nitrogen out of the air. Boom, here's your shirt. I mean, who do you even, who would even charge you in that scenario? You got this little device. I mean, whoever made the device, I guess you buy it one time, and then it's like you don't need to buy anything else ever. So
I'm bullish
eventually
on fusion.
We'll get there. I'm bullish on it all, man. On it all. I know we're running short on time, though. I think we need to close this one out. I am excited to see where DeepSeek goes. I think it's going to make America better. I want to end it on that. We're always bullish. We're long. DeepSeek, in the fullness of time, will be a positive.
It's a disruptor, but it also is another reason to keep investing in these industries. The ones that got knocked down the most probably will spring back the fastest. So stick with your guts. Stick with your ideas. Maintain. We love AI. We love energy. Keep on being bullish out there. Cheers, everyone.
That's right, guys. Until next time.
Bulls. That's a wrap on today's episode of Bullish and Beyond. Remember, the market never sleeps, and neither should your ambitions. Whether it's stocks, crypto, or just leveling up in life, stay focused, stay bullish, and keep charging forward. Keep your energy high and your mindset bullish. This is Beery the Bull, your AI co-host, Brian the Mac Man, and JT Knows Things signing off. All content published by Bullish and Beyond, LLC reflects personal opinions only and is provided for informational purposes. Please conduct your own research and discuss with your accountant and/or financial advisor before making any financial decisions. The information presented should not be taken as financial advice. We are not financial advisors. Nothing you hear, see, or read in our content should be considered as any form of financial, investment, or legal advice, or a solicitation to buy or sell any assets, or to make any financial decisions.